season in terms of winning, high stakes emotional games and trying to get the team reset, refocused for a new challenge. I guess just kind of how do you approach that this week, especially balancing finals, a travel week, and then a big game at the Garden?
We're just trying to get through finals right now, one day at a time, So, but I think our guys are. I think the finals, all the things that finals require of our guys. I think it's actually probably a pretty healthy mental break for our guys, just to have to really focus on something else for a couple of days. So, I think our guys will be great when we get there.
Mark, in regard to final exams, what has been your message to the team about the academic portion of their Kentucky basketball experience?
Yeah, we have so many different guys on different pathways right now. Academically, we got a bunch of grad guys and a bunch of freshmen, and it's a really important part of the experience, right? It's like you're here to do well and do well in class, and that's really important to us. It's it's an incredible opportunity to learn and grow and prepare yourself for a future that's going to come outside of basketball. We've talked about this since the beginning of time, but a great professional basketball career is 10 years. Like an insanely long professional basketball career is 20 years, and you got a whole lot of life after that where you should be doing something great. We talk to our guys all the time about if you live a great life, then playing in the NBA is going to be like the 6th or 7th or 8th or 9th coolest thing you do in your life. There's a lot of numbers before those. And so doing well in school and building networks and building relationships and gaining an education, it's about living a great life. And so our guys take it seriously.
Mark, are you a good tutor?
I'm sorry?
Are you a good tutor?
Ooh. No.
Why?
I've never been that smart, man. I'm barely scraping to get by.
Is it hard keeping track of these guys and due to all the transferring in and out? I mean, how do you even do that?
Well, I tell you what, we have a legendary, incredibly, insanely accomplished director of academics here in Michael Stone. He is, in fact, you guys should get him in here for a press conference. You might be in here for 7 straight hours, but you would get into the nitty-gritty. He is brilliant. I'm telling you, this Michael Stone has been a gift to generation after generation of student athletes that have rolled through this university. He is incredible. He's demanding. He's hard driving. He's incredibly intelligent. He knows the ins and outs of how this university works. He knows every single professor on campus. He knows he's been doing this long enough where he sees the impact that different courses of study have on guys' life after college. He's brilliant, and he carries a massive load. And then Nick Robinson is the best in the business in terms of keeping us organized, not just with academics, but with everything else. And so those two guys, that's a formidable tandem right there. I would be very worried for the student athlete that wanted to come to the University of Kentucky and do poorly in school. I would say that they have an impossible task ahead of them working with Michael Stone and Nick Robinson every day.
Coach, you got a former Kentucky player, Aaron Bradshaw, now at Ohio State. Did you have any conversations with him when you first took the job?
Yeah, just very brief, casual conversation. I think he's probably a terrific kid. I don't really know him well, but it's the nature of college basketball right now, where you got a lot of different guys, a lot of different schools, experience a lot of different things. How about that for a non-answer? Did I just say a whole? That was like 10 words that mean absolutely nothing. I guess I don't really have much for you.
What do you know about Ohio State?
Terrific team, shoot the ball at an unbelievable clip. I think there is a team at 41% from the three-point line. They play fast, they play hard. A great coaching staff. They're a formidable opponent. It's a really, really, really good team. They've had some great success, and then a couple games I think they would have liked to take back, and they're kind of like all of us, right? A really, really good, talented team that's going to continue to get better and better, and it's going to be an epic clash in Madison Square Garden for Christmas. I mean, it's what you live for.
A lot of others going 6 for 6, and they're shooting well
Well, this is a little bit of a unique scenario in terms of Chucky causes so much trouble. He's one of the leading steals guys in the country, and he causes so much trouble mucking up the game. And so Lamont did an unbelievable job taking what the defense was affording him, which was, Chucky, what he does is he's such a great rover and he's got such great instincts. And Lamont was just like, hey, if you're going to go do that, I'm gonna punish you right now. And that's the way the game is supposed to work, right? And so that was the most important thing it did. It kind of, as the game wore on, you kind of saw Chucky taking less risks, and we were able to function. The rest of our offense was able to function a little bit more securely, knowing that Chucky wasn't lurking around every corner, right? And they had to pay attention. And so, all those things worked together pretty well.
Adam Silver said yesterday or the day before that they're going to look at the volume of threes being taken in the NBA. And Dick Vitale, they tweeted today that teams take too many threes, takes away from the beauty of the game, the cutting and passing. You're obviously a proponent of the three-point shot. How do you see the three-point shot as far as like with the beauty of the game?
Well, I'm on the exact opposite track as those guys because we're not getting enough, man. I don't understand it. I actually think I would argue this. I would argue that the three-point shot is what's allowing the beautiful cutting of the game. Actually, exactly. It's like, we always talk about, we want to force teams to guard 27 by 50, right? And so when you get to work in 27 by 50, listen, I grew up as a Celtics and Lakers fan. I'm that old, right? You guys don't know this, but a long time ago, there was an incredible rivalry. Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, time gone by. But, they had an NBA three-point line, but most of the game was played at like 17 feet, right? And it was just a slugfest, and it was it was so incredibly physical. And what we've done, what these great players have done with their ability to shoot the ball and extend the floor is now you have teams that are guarding so much more space, and you have players with so much more gravity away from the basket. And so it's actually allowing the beauty of the game really to be pronounced, because what really gets fun in this game is when you trick the defense and you do it by moving bodies and moving players and moving the ball, and all those things happen better when defenses have to guard more space. This game gets pretty ugly and brutal and gruesome when everybody's you have 10 bodies all packed inside the three-point line. It's just a wrestling match. Now, there's some beauty to that, too. It's just a different beauty, right? And so I think the three-point line is a brilliant thing. I think that it's been a real win for college basketball, moving it back. I think that's been a really good experiment, and I think that we're getting to see more of the incredible skill that these players are developing, and getting to see how teams exploit the fact that you have to guard so much more space. I think the game gets really fun that way.
Kind of on that note,
This is the only thing in the world that I disagree with Dick Vitale on, if that's the case.
But that's why they brought in the three-point shot originally
Yep.
from the age, right? To kind of
Yep.
open things
Yep.
up
Yep.
and keep it from being a
Yeah.
slugfest.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
on that note, do you encourage your guys to maybe shoot deeper, maybe 2 or 3 feet behind the line as well?
Yeah, so we talk about that all the time. And yes, for example, if you're just on a simple ball screen, we're playing a snap game, right? The separation that you get, if you just isolate 3 players on the floor, right, and you're playing a regular ball screen and roll with a strong side corner that's lifting. So what you're doing, teams that bring a second defender to the ball, is you're putting that third defender in a real difficult situation. He's got to guard a roll at the rim, and he's got to also be there on the catch, on the lift guy, the guy in the corner that's lifting up for a shot. And so those 2 or 3 feet beyond the three-point line make it nearly impossible to be able to guard both, even for an elite level long athlete. So it just makes it so much more dangerous. It makes you skew this back. It makes you take that second defender that you've been dedicating to the ball and maybe saying, now maybe I'm going to be in like a St. Mary's cover. I'm going to kind of be a little more protective because there's no way I can put my third defender in that impossible scenario where he has to guard at the rim and he has to be there on the catch, both one pass away, when I have to now do that to 27 feet instead of 22. And so, yes, I think that's important. We have guys that can make those shots, It's an important part of the space.
Mark,
Coach,
on
you
your
guys will be using the Wilson Evo next on Saturday. There's been studies showing that like the ball matters, or the ball used at home matters. Should there be a universal basketball that's used to all throughout college?
See, now you're trying to get me in trouble. You're going to have all the ball companies like, bartering for the one that's going to be named as the universal ball. I don't know. That's way above my pay grade. I like it. I like using the different balls because it gives all of the fans and everybody something to talk about and conspiracy theorize about, and I think it moves the game of sports. So.
Mark, you mentioned on your radio show, talk about some of the travel excursions you guys have had this season, Atlanta, MLK Park, Space Needle, Pike Place in Seattle.
Yeah.
I guess first off, have you, set up or decided yet on what you guys are going to do in New York City? And secondly, at what point as a coach or a player did you realize that those kind of travel experiences, those bonding moments, could actually be used as in a tangible way, translating on court success?
Yeah. Okay. This is a better question than you think it is. Actually, it's been a real change for me. Oh, it's like it even gives me it makes me feel pressure and tension right now. Throughout my whole basketball career as a player, and then the first half of my coaching career, I was about like, how long can you sustain a level 10 intensity and focus? I would spend 24 hours a day pacing and criticizing and yelling and being like in game mode, like full on intensity, never stop. I wonder where I got that from. And I started working with the squad. This group at BYU was 4 clinical psychology faculty members who have just changed everything I do about coaching. And so through investigations and studies and really criticism from them, it just changed the whole way that I actually approach this. And instead of trying to live in that space of like being absolute unfettered, laser focused every second, emotionally and mentally, on the game and being intense and getting our team ready to go, we kind of flipped to a totally different philosophy, and it's actually been brilliant. It fits us better now, and it's actually been so the fact that we're going on a trip to go play a game at Madison Square Garden, and we're going to do anything that's not only grit your teeth, full sweat basketball, it was really foreign to me 3 or 4 years ago. But our guys respond to it great now. So this has been a new for me. And the upside is massive. And one of the upsides is that, this connective tissue that you build on a team that we talk about all the time, it happens when you get to put guys in different scenarios, in different moments, in different environments with new experiences where everybody's having a new experience and they get to share it together. And it just builds this collective cohesiveness that I actually think wins in a brilliantly unique way. And it's important. And so it's not about kind of taking advantage of these moments. Is not about like, woohoo, we're just going to go party. It's super intentional. It's really important to building a team for us, and that's been new for me. So, but it's good. It works.
Let's go outside the New York City itinerary.
Yes. Yep. We've already done it. It's all still so uncomfortable for me that we've been sweating over this itinerary for the last couple of weeks, and I think we got it right. And we have a couple things that are going to be really incredible experiences for our guys. I'm not going to tell you any of them because I know BBN and they'll show up at everything, and that defeats the purpose.
Mark, this is probably a bad question, but everybody seemed to enjoy the Louisville game, especially the players. There was kind of a parade of L's down afterwards. But as their coach, where do you draw the balance between just having fun with a hand gesture versus disrespect for another program?
I don't actually know the answer to that question. I do think this. I think that our guys love competing. Our fan base loves competing. I think we love that game. I think Louisville loves that game. It's where your emotions are at their highest, and it's like a backyard brawl. That's what it is. It's like when you go in the backyard and you play one-on-one with your brother. It just hits different. There's no way around it. It hits different, and I think I do a poor job of monitoring kind of like what's out in the world of media, but my instinct is that we have a really good tone with Louisville. I think Pat is doing an unbelievable job there. I two of the kids on that team, like I love from the bottom of my heart. Like we've shared like fights and tears and wins and celebrations, and I get to be at Kentucky right now because of what those two kids did for me, and I think Louisville probably feels that from us. I think that they do. You know, Pete Carroll always talks about how much he loves great opponents because that's what actually gives his teams the chance to go perform the game of football in a spectacular way, and I feel the same way. And so I think I hope that people feel like there's no lack of deep respect for Louisville and the history there and the program and what Pat's doing and what those players are doing. I thought they came and battled like crazy, and they performed really well. So all of that's true. And also, when you beat your brother, or you know, that kind of backyard relationship, and you walk into the house, you tell everybody about it too. I mean, that's part of the joy of it, and I don't think that's disrespectful. I think that's, I don't know. I think it's the way it is. So how that actually manifests itself in like the nitty gritty and the weed stuff, I think we'll continue to try and figure that out. But I did feel like there was a healthy amount of respect and a whole boatload of intensity and fight, and so I feel like it was a pretty good balance.
Mark, as Lamont's ankle responded, how important are these 7 days and then the 10 to follow to kind of while we're still waiting for Kerr and
Yeah, Lamont's ankle is an interesting thing because there's part of me that's like, I want to get it 100% healthy, and there's part of me that like, I don't know if I want to get it 100% healthy. He was pretty good in that Louisville game. So, but yeah, we've been super careful. We kept him out of contact yesterday, and so he is. But I think he's over it, right? I think we've moved on, hopefully, with that. And Kerr is, Kerr had his first day in the weight room doing conditioning and strength training yesterday, and our goal is to make that so unpleasant that he's like, I'm getting back on the court soon. We'll see. I don't know. You know, this is a little bit of a tricky surgery, and it could respond fast or it could respond slow. And so we're going to do everything in our power to help. You know, he's going to do everything in his power to get himself ready as soon as he can, and hopefully that comes sooner rather than later. But there's some things that are going to be out of his control.
Are you aware of the feud that's developing between the people who want to stand up all game during Rupp Arena versus the ones who want to sit down with an unobstructed view of the action?
I am not. What's happening with this? Tell me. Fill me in.
Yeah, there's.
It sounds scandalous.
Fans that love to stand up. A lot of fans love to stand up during the whole
Yep,
game.
yep,
Watch that.
yep.
But evidently during this last game, a police officer actually came and threatened somebody with arrest.
Okay. Let's do this. I can tell this is going to get me in a whole lot of trouble. I would like you're going to hate me for this, but I'm going to tell you, like, man, I just hope everybody comes into that arena and has an incredible experience. Like, it's really, I can't tell you how important it is to us. Like, it's important to our staff. It's important to our players that people come into this arena, into this like incredible, one-of-a-kind sacred building of Rupp Arena that they've been with their mom and dad and their parents and their frat brothers and sorority sisters and their children, and then they come in that gym and they have like an experience that they will never forget. That's what that building has done for the last, 50 years old, 60 years old, for the last 50 years. And now it's our turn to continue that building to serve BBN that way, and that's really important to us. So I hope we can keep doing it, and I'll dig into the details and see if we can do it better. Thanks. Yeah, so we are breaking camp, after the game on December 21st if we win.
That's a Coach P answer.